Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, the NBA season is finally here. The season tipped off last night with the Lakers and Warriors and the Sixers and Celtics. Now we got a full slate of games for Wednesday night. I am here to just give my season preview, which is essentially me just going over my candidates for categories such as the MVP, the most improved, sixth man of the year, the defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, coach of the year. I'm going to go over my standings or my playoff standings as far as the 6 playoff spots and the play-in for the Eastern Western Conference. I'll give you my preview as what I think the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be. I'll give you my finals preview, and then I'm going to give my finals pick. It's just going to be a whole overview of what I think is going to happen this season. I want to talk about basketball. I'm going to find more intricate ways to talk about other things, by myself. When I'm with my friends, I'm going to be able to make a whole podcast about that. More of those episodes are coming soon. We're working on that. But without further ado, let's get into my preview. All right, so as far as my MVP candidates go, I got 5 names for you. The guy that I think is going to win, I'll start with him, Luka Doncic. I'm going to say his name until it actually happens. Luka Doncic has been my MVP pick for the last 2 years, I think. And if he doesn't win this year, I'm going to continually still pick that man because that is the best player in basketball, in my opinion. I love watching Luka Doncic. That's one of my favorite players, man. That dude can just do no wrong, bro. That dude can backpack a team to wherever he needs to get them, as far as he can get them, and that boy is just incredible, man. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season this year. I think Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway being back, Christian Wood, he just has a great mob around him. His assist numbers are going to be crazy. Luka Doncic only gets better every single year, man. This kid is absolutely insane. At 2, I'd probably have Joel Embiid, just due to the fact that he is, I'm not going to say he's been robbed of the MVP, but he's definitely, missed out on getting his opportunity to win the MVP. And I think, he's just going to make another strong case for it this year. Does he win it? I don't think so, but we'll see. I'm more than happy to find out. Hope he doesn't win, though, because I do not like Joel Embiid at all. But that is the guy who I think is definitely going to be in the top 5 race. Another guy at number 3, Jason Tatum. Dude. And I wish I recorded this before the game last night, because now it'll look like, I'm hopping on this whole Jason Tatum train. No, look at the jersey behind me. I know where that boy is from. I've been repping that boy since Chaminade. I already know what's up with him, man. That boy is an MVP candidate this year. He's coming for it all. He's had his taste of the finals. He's ready to get back, and he's just going to do nothing but dominate all season. So that is another guy I'm picking for the MVP candidacy. Giannis is at 4, because how could you not have Giannis on there? Giannis Antetokounmpo is an absolute beast. He's just insane, the Greek freak. You already know what it is when it comes to him. At 5, I'd have Nikola Jokic. I'm putting him at 5 because I don't back to back. Come on, Jokic, you're not doing that. Jamal Murray's here. You got some help on the way. You're not going to be doing all this by yourself this season. But you are definitely still one of the highest efficient players in the league, and your usage rate is insane. And you're Nikola Jokic, bro. You can make something out of nothing. You make a lot of something out of nothing, bro. So he's going to be an MVP candidate as well. My dark horse for this category, I am going to pick Kawhi Leonard. Granted, we all know that Kawhi Leonard probably won't win this award due to the fact that he loves load management so much, and that's just his best friend at this point. But I will say, in the games that he does play, I think Kawhi is definitely on a mission this year. He's going to be playing out of his mind. I think this dude is definitely trying to make a statement to put himself back in the top 10, because people have definitely removed Kawhi Leonard from that. Or not me, but other people have definitely removed Kawhi Leonard from their top 10. I feel like people kind of forgot about Kawhi a little bit, man. We just been waiting to see whatever happens when he steps back on the court. The Clippers have a very talented roster, and I think Kawhi Leonard is definitely ready to make some noise this year. So that's my dark horse for the MVP, but I think Luka wins it nonetheless. All right, so for the most improved category, look, I think I only need 3 names here. I'm not really going to need 5 for the rest of these, so I'm just going to pick 3 from now on. Tyrese Maxey, Zion Williamson, Anthony Edwards. I'll start with Tyrese Maxey. Look, this kid is just a walking bucket, and I think that he is in a system where he can honestly just be a free-flowing scorer, and with that, I think he has the ability to score at least close to 20 points a game, maybe 18 to 19 this year, but that dude is absolutely just going to be able to do whatever he wants in this offense, because a lot of attention is going to be on Joel Embiid and James Harden, and once Maxey gets hot, it's really hard to get this boy to cool off, so that's a big reason why I think he can be up for most improved. Zion Williamson, granted, maybe that's a stretch, but with John Morant winning most improved last year, I think anything is possible. Also, note that the last non-All-Star that won this award was CJ McCollum. I don't remember what year he won it, but I know ever since the fact that CJ McCollum has won this award, an all-star has been chosen for most improved ever since then, and Zion can fit that category because he definitely will be an all-star this year. Look, granted, the last time Zion was on the court, he averaged at least like 27, so I don't know if he can really, I don't know if he'll top that this year. He'll probably be a little below 27 this year, maybe like 26, 25. No, probably like 26. But, I mean, either way, I do think if the Pelicans get to a certain point, like a certain standings, like maybe like top 4, if the Pelicans are maybe like a top 4, top 5 seed, and Zion is just averaging ridiculous numbers, which I think he will, I think he can make a case for most improved for sure. He's been hurt, so why not, right? As far as Anthony Edwards goes, look, that mob is ready to take off. They got Ed, Cat, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert takes a lot of pressure off of Cat. Rudy Gobert takes a lot of pressure off of Cat as far as the defensive end goes, and I just think Anthony Edwards is just going to be absolutely ridiculous this season, man. That kid, honestly, if I had to pick a favorite, if I had to put these guys in order of who I think is going to win the award, I'd say Anthony Edwards is first, Tyrese Maxey is second, Zion would be third. I definitely think Anthony Edwards has the most potential out of the three of these guys to win the award just because his name will more than likely be called on in clutch situations more than the other two. Like, Anthony Edwards is only battling with one guy in clutch situations, and it's really Karl Anthony Towns. And at that point, I think Anthony Edwards just has the mindset to really take the ball from Cat in clutch situations and do his damn thing. So, yeah, no, I'm going to pick Anthony Edwards for the most improved this year. All right, and for the defensive player of the year, look, I got Giannis, Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo. That is not the order, though. I honestly think, and as much as people are tired of him winning the award, I think Rudy Gobert is definitely a favorite, almost a lock to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. One, because he takes so much pressure off Karl Anthony Towns. Rudy Gobert is literally just going to be a towering presence right next to Karl Anthony Towns on the defense, and Rudy can just sit there and block. Like, that's literally what he did on the Jazz last year. Like, he literally was just the biggest guy out there, taking up the most space, just blocking shots, being very efficient on the defensive end. He's really going to be able to do so much of that here in Minnesota, too, because Cat can space out. Like, Cat can play on the perimeter. He can literally play. He can defend people on the perimeter. Granted, he gets kind of cooked out there, but he's got Rudy Gobert down there, man. Rudy Gobert having Cat makes his job. Rudy Gobert having Cat, they make their jobs a lot easier. For Cat on the offensive end, for Rudy on the defensive end. That's why I think it's pretty much a lock for Rudy to get this award. But Bam and Giannis as well. Bam Adebayo for sure, man. That dude is absolutely ridiculous. I think with no PJ Tucker, his role is going to get very bigger in the Miami defense. He's going to be an anchor. He's going to be looked upon to really carry that defense, other than, whenever Jimmy Butler decides he wants to play, he be on and off some nights, man. When it comes to the regular season, Jimmy decides whenever he wants to play, when he needs to turn it on, when he doesn't. But Bam is going to have that defensive motor all season, so I think he'll definitely be somebody. And Giannis is self-explanatory, man. It's Giannis. I'm definitely thinking he's gonna be nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. Don't think he wins. Look, I'm gonna pick Rudy Gobert to win that award because I like I said, his job with Karl Anthony Towns on defense is just a lot easier for him. He doesn't really have to worry about getting out there on the perimeter. He doesn't really have to be. He can literally sit there in the paint. Rudy Gobert doesn't have to go anywhere. It's heaven for him. It's easy. All right, and for Rookie of the Year, look, 3 names: Paolo Banchero, Keegan Murray, and Benedict Mathurin. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. My dark horse, I'd say Jabari Smith from the Rockets, but the reason I can't necessarily put him in my top 3 is just because I think Jabari Smith, his situation is a little more awkward than the other 3, because Jabari Smith really has a lot to figure out as far as his game goes. And granted, these three are rookies. Like, all these kids are rookies, so they all have a lot to figure out about their games. I just think Keegan Murray, Paolo Banchero, and Benedict are in better situations than Jabari Smith. Like, Jabari has a lot of guys. Like, I think Jabari is going to be more in a spot up role this year, like spot up shooting. I'm not sure how much of his own shot he's going to be creating due to the fact that he's got KPJ, Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, and just, that Rockets team. They got a lot of ball handlers and a lot of guys that can get buckets themselves. So I'm not really sure where Jabari fits in that role. For Paolo Banchero, he's damn near the best player on his team already. And he hasn't even played a game yet. He's arguably the best player on the Magic. Granted, I think he is the best player on the Magic. He will be the best player definitely by the end of the season. I think he's the best player right now. And Keegan Murray's situation, he's on the Kings. And, I think Keegan Murray is just really, Keegan Murray is got a lot of pick and pop type action. And I just think their situation, the Kings suck. Granted, all their teams won't be very good, but the Kings just, I don't know, man. Keegan Murray will probably be relied on a good amount. Sabonis is a very good playmaker as well, and I think him and Murray will have good chemistry together. Fox and Monk, I think there's a lot of electrifying playmakers on the team that'll just make Murray look good as long as he's hitting his shots and doing his thing. And he looked very impressive in Summer League. So no, I think Keegan Murray is definitely a guy that could be considered for this Rookie of the Year award. Benedict Mathurin, like I said, he's just in a great situation. He is a walking bucket, and you don't really need to be Rookie of the Year. You really just need to be really good at what you can do, or you just need to stand out in all categories. And these guys, these three names, Paolo is outstanding favorite for me. I think he's definitely going to win the Rookie of the Year because, like I said, he's the best player on the Magic. This kid can dominate he can handle the ball, he can pass, he can shoot, he can do whatever. Paolo can do whatever he wants with that ball, bro. He's absolutely ridiculous. So are these other two guys as well, though. But Benedict is a straight walking bucket, bro. And I think the Pacers are going to need scoring from somewhere, and that kid's got the green light or the confidence to definitely shoot the thing. So that's what I think it's going to come out to. Those are my three names for Rookie of the Year. I think Paolo, if I had to put them in order, I'd say, the order was probably the names, the original way I said the names, Paolo, Keegan, and Benedict. Jabari is probably fourth on that. And if Chet were playing, I wouldn't even put Chet my Rookie of the Year. I think that boy would struggle a lot. I think he'd have a lot to figure out about his game, except, blocking the ball. But that's because he has like a 7'6" wingspan. The boy's arms are ridiculously long. But it's like, I don't think Chet would have been in the running for Rookie of the Year. But those are my three names for that. Now let's move on to the next category. All right, and for my Sixth Man of the Year award, my three names are Jordan Poole, Malcolm Brogdon, and Bones Highland. Look, Jordan Poole and Malcolm Brogdon are kind of the 1A, 1B in this category because I feel like any of those two can win. Malcolm Brogdon in the Celtics system, coming off the bench for the Celtics, is really a cheat code for them. Like, that dude is very talented. He's a great playmaker, shot creator. He can do a lot on the court, even on the defensive side. Malcolm Brogdon is just an insane talent, and for the Celtics to have that on their team is really just unfair at this point. Jordan Poole, you already know what you're getting with Jordan Poole. That boy just got a new contract extension. He's trying to show them that he is the future and that Draymond is the past. So that boy's on a mission this year, coming off that bench. He's trying to make sure that he's a solidified superstar in the Warriors' future. Bones Highland, look, that kid is just very impressive. I think, as long as he plays to a certain extent, which I think he can, which is really just offensively. Just go get your buckets, young man. Go score your points. You can probably be the sixth man. Tyler Hero got buckets last year. That boy is starting this year, so he's not going to be in the running for the award. Bones Highland, Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Poole, who I think is winning. I honestly got to give the edge to Malcolm Brogdon just because, like I said, him on the Celtics in general is just unfair. Like that's just not fair, man. He's surrounded by way too many playmakers and he's able. Now, granted, Jordan Poole is surrounded by the same thing, but the thing about Jordan Poole is going to get those buckets. Jordan Poole is a good playmaker, but that is a part of his game that he definitely has to work on a little more. Malcolm Brogdon has all those assets right now. He's not a better scorer than Jordan Poole by any means, but Malcolm Brogdon overall is a better player in my opinion, and he just fits better on the Celtics. So those are my three for the sixth man. All right, and for the Coach of the Year, all of my candidates are coming from the Western Conference. I got Ty Lue from the Clippers, Chris Finch for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Willie Green for the Pelicans, and Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets. Ty Lue, I think the Clippers are going to the championship this year, man. If they can all stay healthy, they just have the roster to do so. Kawhi Leonard is going to be an absolute monster in the playoffs, especially because, like I said, load management, his best friend. That's what he's waiting on. PG's going to be that dude. John Wall, I think, definitely gets sort of a revamped energy this year because he needs that. And I don't know, man. Just watching the Clippers in the offseason and watching they seem like they're getting their team chemistry together, man. Kawhi's more on camera this year with the social media teams. Like, they're laughing, they're having a good time. I don't know. I think the Clippers just feel good about themselves going into this season. I think they really should. Ty Lue's gonna have them boys getting it together. Chris Finch, I think Minnesota is going to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference this year. And so with the improvement that Minnesota makes from last year to this year, I think Chris Finch definitely puts himself in a spot to win the Coach of the Year award. Willie Green, like I said, the Pelicans are absolutely nasty with or without Zion. Willie Green did a great job of coaching them last year. Honestly, we saw their potential against the Suns and what they can do without Zion. With Zion, the sky is the limit for these guys, and I'm really excited to see what Willie Green has these guys doing. Mike Malone, is a guy who I just think, as long as if his team is healthy, this man can coach the hell out of them, man. He just never gets a chance to because his players are always hurt. But Mike Malone is a guy who I think should be in the running for Coach of the Year. These are all Western Conference candidates. I don't think anybody in the East is really going to be in the... Well, Eric Spoelstra is a phenomenal coach, and so is Nick Nurse, but the Raptors won't be anywhere near good enough for Nick Nurse to be considered. But Eric Spoelstra can be considered as well. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA. I just think somebody who's winning the Coach of the Year this year is coming from the Western Conference. It's null and void for me. All of these teams are going to make significant improvements and be very good out throughout the year. And my favorite is Ty Lue, if I had to be honest. Yeah, Ty Lue is definitely a guy who I think is a favorite, but any of those other guys I named can definitely be considered as well. All right, and for my Eastern and Western Conference standings, I'm only going to go over the 10 teams that I think will be in the playoff and the play-in spots. And so starting with the Eastern Conference, as far as number 10 goes, I got the Knicks. I got the Hawks at 9. I got the Raptors at 8. I got the Bulls at 7. That's going to be the play-in. For 6, I got the Heat. 5, I got Cavs. 4, I got the Celtics. 3, I got the Nets. 2, I have the Bucks. 1, I have the Sixers. I think the Sixers are going to be the best regular season team as far as the Eastern Conference standings go. Maybe they'll be the best overall team. Who knows? But I think the Sixers will be one of the hottest teams in the regular season. And then when it comes to the playoffs, I think they will have a round 2 exit. More than likely to the Celtics. Yeah, that's the way it should line up on here. Yeah, I think the Sixers lose to the Celtics for sure in round 2. As far as the Western Conference goes, I have Portland at 10, the Lakers at 9, Phoenix at 8. Yes, I think Phoenix's morale is killed. I think that DeAndre Ayton clearly doesn't want to be there. I think that's just going to really mess with their team chemistry. I think the Western Conference is way too competitive to a point where I think they're still shopping Jay Crowder too. So I think the Western Conference is way too competitive to a point where I think Phoenix is definitely going to fall back a little bit this year. So I have them at 8. I have Memphis at 7. I wanted to have them higher, but the Western Conference is crazy packed, man. There's just a lot of talent all over the place. Them not having Jaren Jackson Jr. for a significant amount of time kind of put my perspective into that as well. Granted, the Grizzlies find a way to win. Taylor Jenkins is a phenomenal coach, and these guys really do have grit, and John Morant gives them the attitude they need to do whatever they can on the court, and they can take any team as far as they want to, and as far as being competitive with them, they can compete with any of them on any given night. But it's just a sense of, will they? I don't know. So I'm going to keep them at 7 for now. At 6, I got the Pelicans. I wanted to put the Pelicans higher too, but it's really dependent on how much Zion plays. And essentially, like I said, I know the Pelicans will be good with or without Zion, but it's essentially how much Zion plays, depending on how that helps their chemistry throughout the season. Because there's a lot of if there's spurts that Zion is playing, it's probably gonna mess up them a little bit. But I'm just gonna keep them at 6 for now. I got Golden State at 5. You know how Golden State does. They coast. They do their thing. They wait for the playoffs. That's when they're gonna make their noise. I got the Dallas Mavericks at 4. I got the Clippers at 3 because of load management. I wanted the Clippers to be my 1 seed. The only reason they're not is because of load management over there. I don't know how many games he's going to sit out. So I just think some nights the Clippers kind of just lose due to the fact that Kawhi's not playing, or some guys are just resting, waiting for the playoffs. Minnesota, I got it 2. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? No, I think Minnesota is actually a really good team this year, bro. Y'all can look. The league don't respect Rudy Gobert, but I damn sure respect Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns got a little, he has his nights where he acts like a little girl sometimes, but Anthony Edwards is a dog. He got that dog in him. He got that dog mindset, and that boy's going to hoop this regular season. So is Cat. Don't get me wrong. And like I said, Cat and Rudy Gobert together, they make their jobs a lot easier. Like I said, Cat, his job on offense is going to get so much easier with Rudy Gobert down there because he doesn't really have to have such a paint presence. He can play on the perimeter. He can shoot more if he wants to. Rudy Gobert on the defensive end, he doesn't need to worry about switches and being on the perimeter because you have Cat out there. He can literally stay in the paint if he wants to. Their jobs are going to get a lot easier. Chris Finch has a very good group around them. D'Lo, hopefully he plays a lot better this year. And the Timberwolves, the sky's the limit for them, and they have a really good team this year. Number 1, though, I got the Denver Nuggets. As long as they stay healthy and Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. can get their chemistry back and play the way I know that the Denver Nuggets can play, yeah, I think the Denver Nuggets are definitely going to be the 1 seed this year. And now we're getting into the playoff picture. Well, no, that is my playoff picture. So now we're going to get into essentially what my Eastern Conference Finals matchups are and my Western Conference Finals matchups are. And as far as that goes, Eastern Conference, I got the Celtics versus the Nets, a rematch of the round one sweep last year that made Kevin Durant be very biddable, become a very biddable player, man, where people was questioning if this dude is this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Granted, I do still think the Celtics win this one. I think that they win it in a 7-game series instead of, 4 games this time. Well, they win it in 7 games instead of 4 this time. But that's going to be a very good matchup. I think that's my Eastern Conference matchup. As far as the Western Conference goes, I got the Warriors versus the Clippers, and I got the Clippers beating them. Look, personally, I think the Warriors' egos have just gotten way too high. This Draymond Poole situation is being treated as something that's belittling, or like it's not. It was blown. Okay, no, it wasn't blown out of proportion, because no, once that video came out, it got bad from there. The video made it a lot worse. I just think that the Warriors' egos are way too high for them at this point. Winning multiple championships is very hard. Granted, they just won their first one after, I think the last 2 years, being counted out and things like that. But I just think the Warriors' egos have gotten way too big this year, and this year is definitely their time to lose. I think the Clippers make that happen for sure, and that makes my finals matchup the Celtics versus the Clippers. Yes, sir, the Battle of the Seas. We're going to find out what happens there, but ultimately, I got the Celtics getting get back. The Celtics are going to be my finals pick this year. I think they're going to win the whole thing, man. I think Jason Tatum has touched that finals. He wants to get back there so badly to prove everybody wrong that he messed up last year after his first finals. I think he's able to get back to there, and he wins the whole thing, man. So look, those are my picks, or those are my thoughts, or very early thoughts on the NBA season as a whole. Let me know in the comments below, guys, who you think is going to win certain awards. Look, MVP, give me your candidates. MVP, Sixth Man, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, blah, blah, blah. All-Star selections. Let's get a conversation going in the comments below, guys. But look, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. More NBA content coming to you soon. I'm trying to find ways to, make this stuff entertaining and talk about stuff when I'm by myself. And then once my friends get here, we really get things together. It's going to get crazy, man. Sports talks are going to get a lot of fun, or going to get a lot more fun around here. Thank you guys so much for watching. No, I really appreciate it. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.